Looking great.
Back at you.
Absolutely. How you doing?
Good, man. I'm kind of lucky here. My house is 2 blocks from the office,
Ah,
and we've got. Where are you? What city are you in?
I'm in Quogue in the Hamptons in Long Island.
Okay.
When I'm back in the city, my apartment is 3 blocks from my office, so it works out pretty well.
Okay. So where I am right now, Dave and I have got an office. This is about 1,700 square feet, and we're in a strip center on San Vicente, which is it's a very popular street in Brentwood.
Sure.
And there's Whole Foods across the street. There are 2 restaurants, here, and I'm looking out to the center dividing island where a lot of people run up and down.
Sure.
And so it's a pretty cool place to be. So today, I came to the office. Could have done this. We've got a couple things lined up, and we're doing an Instagram tequila tasting at 4:00 today. Right on.
Wait a minute.
You know what I've got to do is
and for the children.
Oh,
So, give me a break. I came ready.
Let me show you two. That are. I wish I could. If I had. These are. I'm set up in the other room.
Yeah, the left hand. It's the left hand.
Yeah. So you got Clase Azul, and then in the right hand, this is Dos Artes. It's an anejo. It's about $90 a bottle.
Uh-huh.
It's huge. It's really, really. It's great on the rocks.
Uh-huh.
And then and I found that the direction that I'm going now, or that I have in the last couple of years, I actually prefer Blancos. And the two that I prefer, actually, Clase Azul makes a Plata, Plata,
Mm-hmm.
Plata Blanco. And then there's Uno. It's the number one. Uno makes a great Blanco.
Right.
And then I've got one more for you.
Let's see. Because the Clase Azul, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't have any here.
I mean, it stops right
Look at this.
And this is a great. This is Casa Dragones.
Sure.
I mean, it's really great, and it's sipping tequila. So it's a Joven, but super super smooth. And so when it's super. It's clean, because the challenge is so many of the añejos are they become caramelized over the last 3 or 4 years.
Sure.
And so it's as much of a hangover to me, drinking añejos through the evening. I might as well drink a fucking old fashioned.
Right.
I'll go.
Right.
So so that's the difference.
Do you find that certain brands will give you the hangover and certain brands won't?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's why I think the whole Clase Azul line, from the Plato to that's the Reposado. The Anejo, first of all, the Anejo is stupid fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's good, but I actually prefer this.
So do I.
Yeah.
So do I. In fact,
Yeah,
there's a restaurant on the Upper East Side. I walked in about 2 years ago. A friend of mine owns the place, and I said, I found this tequila 2 years. It's probably 3 years ago. I said, I found this tequila. I said, you got to get a bottle. He gets a bottle. And now it's become like the trophies behind the bar. So now they've got about 80 of them.
No, absolutely.
And that's what he drinks. And it's worth it. And it's a fantastic. How did you, or have you always been into tequila?
I'm a transplant from Texas, and I've been, I like to say my, there are 12 of us here, and to a person, everybody drinks, and you're going to laugh because, there's certain things that are politically correct to ask and not.
Sure.
Do you drink, and have you gotten high in the last year?
Right. We can edit whatever we want also. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And if I see uncomfortable body language on either, it's
right.
not going to be a good fit.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Go ahead. Yeah, but that being said, yeah, we've got, I'd say it's half and half. Half of us really like tequila. The other half like whiskey and bourbon. Mm-hmm. And so we've got a pretty established bar here, and it's just look, this is a tough business, man. I mean, and it's gotten really, really difficult in the last, I mean, we'll talk about it today.
Sure.
I mean, and I'm a pretty transparent guy. Dave and I and our team, we've got really great people. We've got 4 staff and 7 agents. And we did almost 280 million in business last year. So it's legit. I mean, we're transacting now, which is so fucking difficult. Having done this for 30 years, I mean, yes, I was there at 9/11. Yes, I was there in 2008. I was there in 96, 97. And the 2008 was, you thought the fucking bottom was falling out.
That's it.
The difference now is that it's the anxiety brought on by the unknown. It's not just a financial situation. And people are, it doesn't matter what your political affiliation is. It's very unnerving, man, that Trump is saying, you know what, fuck what the doctors say, man. Let's open the doors, to businesses tomorrow.
I just got an alert that said Pence is considering disbanding the team that's handling coronavirus at the White House, literally 5 minutes ago. And I'm thinking, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Those are, by the way, probably, and I'm sure it was just dumb luck on his part. That's probably the best group of people he's put together in the last 4 years.
Period.
That were so spot on, and he would be better off just introducing and just shut up.
If I had $5 for everybody who told me that in a call,
right,
I'd be done.
Because he's got smart people around him.
Absolutely.
Just but he's got to hear himself think. And how did you start? How did you start this this digital newsletter?
This idea?
Yeah.
This is a goofy idea. I called a buddy of mine. She's fantastic. She's Lauren Muss at Douglas Elliman. And I said, why don't we have a conversation? Because this was after the first couple of weeks and people were calling and they were saying, what are you doing? And I said, absolutely nothing. I'm emotionally paralyzed. I'm sitting here. I'm doing nothing. In the third week, I started playing ping pong in the basement with my daughter. I felt like I could ramp up to that. Had this conversation with her. Then I put it online. Then someone sees it. Then someone else sees it. And then all of a sudden and I'm like, that's interesting. But what's interesting is it's only, and I'm not blowing smoke your way, it's only heavy hitters who came and said, I've got something to say. So Leonard Steinberg, I sent him an email. I said, how are you? If you ever want to do this, let me know. He said, how's Sunday? And I go, Sunday's great. And we did a conversation with him, and he is unbelievably insightful, measured, and it's just one after the other. But,
right.
I think everybody's in a similar boat. People who have seen history want to either connect or calm. They want to do one of those two things. They want to say, listen, it's all going to be okay at some point. We just don't know what point that is, or everybody wants to connect. And, either way, this has been terrific. And it will be terrific for the next, 30, 40 minutes.
I like it.
Even if I only have this. So, you brought out the classic. And if I could take a flight right now, I'd give you a hug just for the classic. Seriously.
I'm a fan. But I will send you, I'll send you a link to the Dos Artes. The Dos Artes is a really, really wonderful añejo to just kind of hang out and sip.
That's it.
But no, a buddy, a very good buddy of mine introduced me to the Clase Azul and just a small wedge of orange and a big rock. And you just, that's my drink for the night.
See you in 45 minutes.
Exactly. Do it again. Yeah, repeat. Yeah, rinse and repeat.
So, I read the bio and it's, it knocked me on my butt. I mean, you started Partners Trust.
Right.
Which is a boutique firm. Then boutique firm does $3.5 billion in sales.
Yeah. And then
boutique.
Yeah.
It's a lot of dresses.
It was a lot of fun. And my whole real estate career has been, on the West Side. And I was just fortunate to land, in LA on the West Side in Brentwood, Santa Monica, and the Palisades.
Sure.
And then I've always, I enjoy the team concept. We've got some amazing people. I've got One of my partners is actually having lunch right now in our lunchroom, just on the other side of this wall. And it's nice. I'd say one of the things that, that's been challenging is as nice as Zoom conferencing is,
Sure.
that seeing people. And in the last 45 minutes, I've seen four of our team members. And so it's been very nice, just popping in and out,
Yeah.
social distancing, et cetera. But no, it's nice.
I took my dogs to the vet on Sunday. My dog saw people. To give you an idea, the dog went to the vet. That's how much she wanted to see people.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, well, listen, we're all doing this thing together. And so, she goes down the street. It's a nice quiet street. She sees another dog. She's like, oh my God, the world hasn't ended. And
dude, I love your,
goes up the chain.
I love your setting, man. I like the subway tile.
Like subway tile?
That's the kitchen. And then, the black trim and the wood detail in the ceiling.
It's a good house. We've been here 16 years. Came here from Westchester and hated the house the minute I bought it. And I was like, we got to fix that. So brought a pizza oven in from Italy. Let's see if I can do that. Brought that in.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. I should have put a gas element in it. I'd use it twice as much, but we use it. It takes time to heat up. And if you're gonna get stuck, it's a good place to get stuck.
Yeah. And I really like the subway tile. I'm assuming those are skylights above you.
They are skylights. There are 5 of them in this ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's good stuff. And we're just starting to get the weather change. So thankfully, it's been a cold April. But
we've got dear friends of ours. My wife's 2 of her girlfriends since grade school live in Manhattan.
Sure.
And it's been tough for you guys. I mean, really fucking tough.
Yeah. Manhattan is a trick. It was a trick before we left. We've been here for 40 days. It remains to be a trick. I'm going back Sunday. Going to get the lay of the land, see what's going on. It's getting better, but Manhattan is it's tough right now, and it's going to be a tough summer. It's going to be a tough summer
because of the density.
I think it's because of the density, and I think also because there really has not been a plan of figuring out, okay, what's the next step. Cuomo, who's from my perspective, has done a great job, is laying out phases, except there's not a lot of definition in the phase. I heard restaurants are phase 2. I heard construction is phase 1. Except New York City has to check a bunch of boxes before they'll allow construction to start. So it's interesting. We've got projects going on, and clients are like, when are we moving in? I go, when are we restarting? And how many people? And at what speed? And all of these things.
Right. We've got a good client of ours. We sold his house in the Palisades, and he bought a flat in Manhattan. Mm-hmm. And Larry was very lucky. They finished construction 10 weeks ago.
Wow.
Literally the day before they shut the lights out.
Big
deal. And he's filled with gratitude, man, because he'd be jammed up.
Oh, big time. I've got a client who doesn't realize it, but their project that is in a building that's a summer only building. They only let you work in the summertime. It's not going to end this summer. It's going to go another year. So it'll be the 3rd year they're carrying this place. And, thankfully, I'm sure they can afford it. But at some point, you want to move in and live your life. And this building's not going to say to them, just continue into November, December, bang on our heads. A building this consequential, they're going to make their own rules up. So it's going to be tricky for a while. And then the question is, what happens when the market comes back and what does it look like? But, that remains... that I think if you're trying to handicap that, you are wasting a lot of gas and you ain't getting a lot of mileage. You just
100%. You don't know. So when you say, well, what's going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen. I just know we're and one of the questions that you've got are you guys transacting now? We're transacting, and we're treating everyone like it's the only deal we've got, because we've been in fact. As I said, Sweet, one of my partners who's having lunch right now, we've been working on a deal for 7 weeks, 7 fucking weeks, back and forth, because the sellers are oblivious that, hey, this has happened. but we're still chipping away, and I believe it's going to happen. But it's like every deal is brutal. You got to have patience. You got to be a therapist. Let's get started.
You got to be a therapist every day of the week, even when there isn't a pandemic.
Right, and now it's even,
now you need your PhD.
Yeah, now it's more challenging, and you've got, and what most of my contemporaries, the one attribute most of my contemporaries lack is the ability to ask a question and then shut up.
I'm telling you, my first flight, I'm coming to see you. I just said to somebody I deeply care about, I said, my grandfather used to have a saying, the smart man listens, the idiot speaks. Just listen.
Yeah.
Just listen.
Or don't ask the question.
Or or wait, or try to take in the answer. Don't think of the next question.
Right.
Just listen. Everybody I've spoken to, we start with the fun questions. Who would have thought I wanted to start with the business questions with a guy who has on his website a tab that says tacos and tequila? But since we're here, let's stay here and let's flip it, which is just, it's life and it's mind bending, right? So how are things? You're doing deals. You're treating every deal like it's the last deal?
Right. I mean, I'll tell you, it's the follow-up that is so critical. We're fortunate. We've got a listing inventory of 41 homes, and it keeps us busy.
Sure.
But imagine that we will communicate with every client every 48 hours, just to let them know this is what's going on. We're okay. We've had a series of showings. It's still shelter in place here. However, they're allowing showings to occur, and you've got to sign documentation. There's a process you've got to go through.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, the shining light in all this is it has really sharpened everyone's attention skills, organization skills, and I'm seeing a lot of good is going to come from this, and I think the communication skills have improved.
Do you think this is going to stay? This Zoom?
Zoom is absolutely going to stay.
Yeah.
The ability, and I challenge everybody out there that's in real estate, download Zoom on your desktop and on your phone.
Sure.
It's the most wonderful way to connect with clients, not to mention your family, relatives you haven't spoken to in forever.
Sure.
We've done a cooking class the last 4 Sundays, 9:30 in the morning, with Tracy, my wife's girlfriend, and her husband that live in Milan. So it's 9:30 for us. It's 6:30 in the afternoon for them.
Sure.
But just it's that kind of stuff that, look, we could have done this years ago. Well, we're doing it now, and it's okay.
Yeah.
And I think with Zoom, the ability to do what we're doing right now, and the thing that I love about Zoom is I can hold you accountable to listen to what I'm saying and not multitask.
Right.
And so,
doing this.
Yeah, right. We got undivided attention.
Right.
So that, deals are happening. They take longer. I just mentioned, we've got a transaction, on the higher end that we've been working on for 6 weeks, and it's just chipping back and forth, because you've got sellers that have not come to the realization that this is a new reality. And then you've got buyers that say it's been a seller's market for well over a decade, so now I want mine. And yet the reality of it is, if you want yours, I can take you to the outskirts of LA and you can get a deal. But my definition of a deal has always been finding the house that you want,
right,
at a price that you're comfortable with.
Right.
And so I think that's going to continue. Inventory is low in LA. I think inventory will remain low, and therefore the prices are staying, pretty consistent. No, you mentioned earlier, crystal balling it. People smarter than me are suggesting that the market is probably going to adjust anywhere from 8 to 10% over the next year. And understand that's an average.
Sure.
So some could sell at the price they were supposed to sell at. Some could sell, for less. But I still think it's a very, very vibrant market, and our phones are ringing.
Why do you have such a low inventory rate?
It's a low inventory rate because people, if you don't need to sell, let me take a step back. This is the perfect market. People are not going to be testing the market.
Okay.
People are putting their homes on the market because they're expanding, they're contracting, they're getting married, they're divorced, they're getting a divorce. There is a catalytic moment in their life that is causing them to put their home on the market or to look. So
Okay.
now we've got people out there that have real intent. So business is going to happen. And so I think that's great.
That's terrific. What's it like to drive a team of 7 and the office team in a pandemic? What's it like? What was it like when it started, and what's it like this morning?
I'll tell you what. When it started, everybody rolled up in the fetal position, and myself included.
Yeah.
Let's be really candid about this. I've been doing this for 30 years. I experienced 9/11. I experienced the great .com crash. I experienced the bank debacle. This is nothing like that. This is completely health based. There are people uncertain about a myriad of things, and so there are a lot of moving parts. I think what's most important, one, is as best you can maintain a positive attitude, because there are opportunities out there. There are really great things that have come from this. And we've got to maintain the same structure we had 2 months ago. You can't wake up at 10:30, check your email, kick back in your sweats, and think about what you're going to have for lunch.
Right.
It's got to, whatever you did 2.5 months ago, do it now.
Right.
Get up in the morning, work out, go for a walk. Check your emails, and start making calls. Get engaged. I think one of the coolest things that's happened for me over the last month is the increased interaction I've had with my contemporaries, with agents at other companies, just calling and saying, "Hey, what's going on?"
Right.
Because we've been really proactive, and we've had to be proactive in calling agents and letting them know about the inventory we've got and finding out what's going on with them. Why? So we can share it with our clients. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
And, you said this is going to stay. I think all this is going to stay. I think the ability of, listening to what you're saying and taking it in, and the inventory and the information. Here's the flip of it. The flip of it yesterday, Waterworks Corporate wants to have a phone call about upcoming projects in the New York area. Can you do a Zoom at 3:30? I said, sure. Now they do a Zoom at 3:30. At 3:30, I was cutting my dog's hair. So the people on the phone go, "Are you grooming your dog?" And I go, "Absolutely." Now we could reschedule the call, or I could do both. You just happen to see what I'm doing, and I like seeing your face telling me you're not going out of business tomorrow. Because I don't want to hear it. I want to see your face. I want to see your eyes. And she goes, "We're not going out of business tomorrow." I said, "Well, then you have to watch as I cut the dog's hair." And I said, "So those are your choices right now."
Yeah.
And so this, to me, is the number one takeaway, where I can get clients on the phone, designers on the phone, contractors on the phone, and I have to get them all in one room, a virtual room, as opposed to who's stuck in traffic, who can't make it today, and this, wherever you are, pull over to the side, have the meeting. I had a 19-person design meeting for a townhouse on the Upper East Side. I was in the parking lot of a supermarket.
I
get done with the meeting.
Identical. I'm the only person on our team that doesn't have young kids. Both my sons have graduated from college, and the thing that's great about it is that when we do two group Zoom meetings a week with the entire team, and you'll look on there and it looks like the Hollywood Squares, and we've got it set up where I got Trevor calling me from his car, because his daughters are restless. I got David, my partner, driving in. I got Sweet, in various locations, which is phenomenal. Why? Because you got this technology, and it makes it super, super easy. And I was being very serious when I said earlier, and you come from the same school. I want to see you when I'm talking. because I'm pretty good at reading body language,
Yeah.
and it's a lot easier to get your cadence, face to face like this as opposed to over the phone.
Yeah. And a text to me is the worst way of doing it. So this is just easy. It's efficient and it's connective. It is one of the good things that have come out of this. It's a horrible, horrible situation, but it's given a lot of people a lot of time to think.
Yes.
Some of those thoughts have been good. Some of those thoughts not so good.
Not so good, but yeah, no.
Okay.
Overall, overall, it's positive.
Given what's going on and given nobody's got a crystal ball, are you changing your business model, or are you just kind of waiting it out to see what the landscape is going to look like?
We're making modifications, and we're making modifications that we will stick with moving forward. I think higher touch with your clients is critical.
Right.
It's the more endearing I am with you, the more transparent I am with you. We can work as a team.
Sure.
If that means reducing the property, if that means making some concessions that we wouldn't have had, we wouldn't have made in the past. But because the relationship I've established with you, there's a trust and there's a comfort.
Sure.
The second is the interaction with the agent community. We're doing something kind of interesting for us. We've got a photographer on staff. We've got a videographer on staff for every one of our properties, whether it's a lease or whether it's a $25 million home. It doesn't matter. We really dial each one in. So what we're doing now is we're doing a branded and non-branded video for each home. And so what I mean by that is, branded's going to have Smith & Berg Partners with Compass and with the address of the property. Sure. The unbranded has the address of the property with nothing else on it. We will send those videos out to local agents in the community. So we may send the video out to as many as 250 or 300 agents in a specific area. And we send it to them with the unbranded video and the photography so they can send out to their clients and they can use it to promote themselves. Because at the end of the day, I want to sell the house.
Right.
I'm not the star of the show. The house is the star of the show.
Right.
And if I can, and I got to tell you something, it's really caught on because we've done it. We've been doing this for 6 weeks now. That's one of those things we will continue. It's being very well received. And we are getting feedback from people on properties that aren't in the market that they're working. Sure. We're having deeper conversations because we're giving, and it works.
It's brilliant. You're giving them all the marketing tools, and to your point, what's the difference? At the end of the day, you just want to sell a house.
Exactly.
You're cutting through all the noise. You just want to sell the house.
And it works. We've got a third showing this afternoon at a house up on Camarosa in the Palisades. But the point being is it's clients that are transferring from New York. They got the video from their agent. We never would have communicated with them.
Never. And
that's showing, so they've seen the tour, they've seen the photos, and this isn't the only property they're looking at, but it's on their list. And all I want is an at bat. Just give me an opportunity.
Right. And without making yourself the stumbling block. That's correct. Yeah, that's pretty good. By the way, the website, from somebody who just redid his website over the course of 3 months, great website you have. Great website. Yeah, I mean, that thing, it hums. It's you want to read it. You want to go through it. And the stuff you put on, especially in this,
yeah.
I was reading it last night at 11:30, and my attention span these days,
same.
So much. But
no, we work. Kristen Azella, who's on our team, works really hard on a daily basis. In fact, she was here 20 minutes ago, and I think it's very important. It's a great calling card, and it's a great opportunity for you to get kind of an essence of my personality, our personality, before meeting.
Sure.
It's a great calling card. So I appreciate that. That means a lot.
It really is. It's well done. And you get the feeling and the flavor like right out of the box.
Yeah. Cool.
And it's not static. Now, I'm in New York. I'm in the Hamptons right now. What's it like in LA? And full disclosure, my daughter and I were in LA in August, had the best, you started it, and I'm a guy from Brooklyn, had the best fucking time imaginable. If somebody said, what was the best vacation you took in 10 years? It was LA. We had a blast. What's it like there? What's the interaction like? Like you said, you're watching a few people. I'm going to go back to the concrete jungle and we're going to be walking like this and walking like that. You have some space. What's LA like?
Here's we got a couple things going on. One, traveling across town now, instead of it taking 55 minutes, it takes 25 minutes. There
Okay.
are if you like dining out, we've got the best of the best restaurants that are now delivering. You got Mastro's, you got the Palm, you got Nerano, you got you name it. They're catering. Why? Because they got to keep the staff busy.
Absolutely.
I think that's one thing that's pretty special. And the ability, I'm looking out. Our office. It's a retail setting. We've got about 1,800 square feet for 12 of us. So I'm looking out on San Vicente right now. I'm seeing joggers, jog up and down all day. I think there's business is happening. It's happening at a slower cadence, and it's happening at a more thoughtful cadence because people are asking more questions before they venture out. But I think that's good, and I think it's going to carry on.
I don't think it's bad.
No,
Especially from a guy, I'm talking to a guy who ran a boutique firm, and I run a boutique design firm. Small is not bad. If anything, it's the best thing to be running these days.
Oh, I totally believe in being high touch, and we're very lean. For perspective, we did about 280 million in business last year. We've got a good shot at even with this, we've got a good shot at hitting that. We're just staying focused, and we're keeping in touch, and we're nimble because with Zoom, I can communicate with everybody on a daily basis, and we also do breakout meetings. It's very enjoyable. My heart goes out to a lot of friends, and a lot of business people. These are really tough times.
Yeah.
But there is a shining light to it, and there are good things that are coming from it. And as we talked about earlier, I think we've got to stay structured. You got to get up in the morning.
Right.
You got
Make
to
the
work
bed.
out.
Right.
Make the bed.
Right.
My new best friend is Jen Sherman, who's a coach for the Peloton bike. I Peloton every morning now.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah, and
I know exactly what she is.
Yeah, and it's a blast.
Yeah.
So what am I doing? Get up in the morning, make my coffee, ride the Peloton, shower, and then get ready. And I encourage. And I'm the asshole that will call somebody at 8:00 and do my Arnold Schwarzenegger, "Don't sleep your life away," just to make sure they're up. Here's Dave right now.
Who's that?
Dave, my buddy, man. We're talking.
Hey, Dave.
David Berg. There you
Now
go.
I can see him. How are you, Dave?
I'll be right back. I just got to give this.
Okay.
He's
I'm kind of fascinated by tequila, a Peloton. I think we may have been switched at bike. The only reason I'm even jacked to go back to the city is a Peloton right next to the bed.
It's
great.
Big fan.
Yeah.
In fact, I've turned half a dozen of my buddies onto it. Dave's wife got one last week.
Fantastic.
But anyway, not to digress, I just think it's important. You got to take care of yourself first.
Totally.
And you're the spokesperson for your team, for your business. And it's if now is the time for those of us who choose to be leaders, for those of us who choose to really, try to set an example for other people. If not now, when, man? I mean, this is a great time to do it.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. Let's get to some fun things. Netflix, Amazon, Apple. What are you watching? Are you watching?
Netflix? Fauda. Fauda. It's absolutely freaking amazing.
You love it.
I finished the 3rd season of Ozark. Jason Bateman, Laura Linney. I mean, it's that's pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
And then anything on the horror genre by Blumhouse, a production company. Just a nice, lighthearted, slasher film.
Killing.
Yeah.
Literally killing.
You know what I mean? Will keep my attention. Yeah.
What'd you want to be when you were a kid?
I wanted to get in entertainment, and so my first job out here was at William Morris, and I went through the program, became an agent, and then I had a buddy in real estate, and so I transitioned, and never looked back.
That's great. What's keeping you grounded in this insanity, and what's motivating you?
I'm grounded every day by trying to figure out what we're going to cook tonight. I'm a huge fan of cooking, and I've got our youngest son is staying with us, through the pandemic, and so we're doing that. And then you know what? It's very important for me to stay engaged with everybody on the team. We're a pretty tight knit group here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's as I said, I've got I got 4 of the team members have got 3 or more kids under the age of 8. Do the head count on that, okay?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just trying to keep everybody positive.
That's the way to do it. What restaurant do you miss the most in LA?
Nerano, and now that they're delivering, it's a little Italian restaurant in Beverly Hills. Toscana is its brother on San Vicente, and so looking forward to getting back in there. But their delivery is really good.
You're stocking up on fitness and education, both. Peloton, the fitness.
Yeah, fitness, and then on education, doing a lot of watching a lot of podcasts, and then following a lot of people like you, because I think in this time, listening and watching and learning is critical. One, it's fun, but man, we've got the time to do it, man.
Yeah.
Take the fucking time,
Yeah.
explore.
Yeah. When was the last time you had a 6-7 week break? Someone said, and
Never.
I said, I was
What, when you were in college?
I was 14.
What,
No,
high
I was
school?
14. Yeah, I was a kid.
Yeah.
In college you never break.
Yeah.
Maybe, like you said, a summer break.
Right.
But so if you're not the first couple of weeks, fetal position, I'm all about that. I'm with you. But if you're not, like, then
Right.
you
Let's
don't,
get it going.
you
Let's
really
get it
don't want to. You don't want to waste the time. Favorite pizza topping from a Brooklyn guy to an LA guy.
Favorite pizza topping would be it's got to be a combination of a pepperoni, Italian sausage, and I'm going to go a little crushed red pepper.
Sure, you're not from Brooklyn. You positive? That's pretty
I
good.
transplant today, my friend.
All right, I'm leaving. I'm putting a question in from our trip in August, because this place just blew me away. Shutters on the Beach. Do you think they inject Happy into the water in that hotel?
You know what?
Ah.
If they inject oxygen in the air, man, you have never. That is the happiest place in the world, and to be able to. They've done such a beautiful job with that hotel.
Oh.
And to sit out on the veranda, look out on the ocean. That was a great place to hang your hat.
Oh God, we were there in August, and we booked 5 nights there, and then just because I said after we're done here, we'll go to the Beverly Hills Hotel, and we're there the first night, and we're there the second night. Now we get to the 5th night, and I turned to my kid. I said, I don't ask for anything, but I have to be honest with you. Daddy can't leave. I can't leave. So she goes, what do you mean? I said, I can't leave. Like, the view, the vibe, the 7 o'clock coffee, walking out to the walk. Daddy can't leave. So I'll take you for lunch. We'll go to the Beverly Hills Hotel for lunch, but I got to stay. And she let me stay for 2 more nights, and that was it.
Let me tell you two great restaurants near where you were.
Okay.
Capo, Bruce Martyr's Capo on Ocean Avenue.
Okay.
And then he opened a new restaurant called Rooster on Santa Monica Boulevard in 23rd. But the walkability from Shutters is spectacular. To go to the promenade.
Ah. We had an 8 o'clock flight. We were on the roller coaster at 5 after 6. And they were like, you're going to miss the flight. I go, no, we're going to make it. And we made the flight. It was just on every level. But that hotel, I was like, and it gets that reaction.
Yeah.
It is. It's a very, very special hotel. I'm a New Yorker. I've never been to the Statue of Liberty. Is there an LA equivalent for you?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Good. Because it's LA.
Yeah.
And it's just a set.
It's spread out.
There you go.
That's the beauty of it. Well,
Do you have a best meal in isolation you've had so far?
best meal, yes. We had a veal made veal stew Sunday morning at 9:30. We've got an ongoing cooking class every Sunday at 9:30 with my wife's girlfriend and husband in Milan. So it's 9:30 in the morning here. It's 6:30 in the evening there,
Okay.
and we come up with a different dish each weekend. And the one rule is it cannot take more than 30 minutes to make.
Wow.
And so, and we've had veal stew, bolognese. We made these amazing dumplings with ricotta cheese, spinach, and then wrapped in a light dough. You drop them in boiling water. I mean, it goes on and on. So, part of it is, and why? Because we can.
Is this something you just started doing in the last 6 weeks?
Yes.
Will you continue?
Hell yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I can see that in your face. It's really,
It's great.
no chance of stopping.
Yeah.
Um,
Ask me about pickles.
well, I'm heading it. You can't see the list. I said I'm a New Yorker. If I was in New York, I'd ask you pickles, yes or no. So there's a follow-up to it. Pickles, yes or no?
Bubby sweet slice pickles.
Yeah, Bubby's in the tequila. What the fuck, man? It's not a chance that we didn't pass.
I know, somewhere.
Long Island College Hospital in 1963. There must have been something going on there. But since you're an LA guy, the follow-up question is, what's your go-to for tacos?
My go-to is Campos Tacos on Ventura Boulevard,
Okay.
and they make the most amazing machaca taco. What's a machaca?
Yeah.
Machaca?
Yeah.
Machaca is shredded beef, asadero cheese, jalapenos, and eggs,
Oh.
and then in a soft tortilla.
Oh. I'm sitting. My knees just.
I'm telling you, man, it's absolutely the best.
That sounds. I'll take that link.
Yeah.
I'll take that link more than the tequila, and I'll take the tequila link. Trust me.
I got another one for you. So,
Holy crap.
favorite sandwich place in LA is Langer's downtown, and they make a pastrami sandwich on rye with coleslaw. It's so unbelievable. How unbelievable is it, Ron?
Yes.
One of our partners had a meeting downtown, and he picked up Langer's for the office. And we had it here in bags for people to pick up.
You know what the best pastrami in New York is?
No.
And I'm going to get calls. Citi Field. The Delta Club in Citi Field, when the Mets are losing and we have our Mets seats, we're like, let's go for a sandwich. Game sucks. And I'm telling you, it's a Katz's quality, that kind of, and you're sitting there and you don't care if they're down 7-1. You're just sitting there and eating like arguably the best pastrami sandwich you've had in New York.
I love that.
But you got to get into the Delta, you got to get into the club and this, but hands down, they used to make a short rib sandwich and they discontinued it. I think the reason why they discontinued it is they weren't making any money on it.
Oh,
That's my personal, that's my opinion.
I've got it's interesting. We just finished a fundraiser that was absolutely spectacular. And I put this out. I put this out to your listeners because Feed the Frontline and GoFundMe. So we set it up through GoFundMe, and it was a really simple process. What we wanted to do is in 36 hours, we wanted to raise $5,000.
Okay.
But there's a $25 max donation. So we wanted to raise $5,000 for Feed the Frontline, because what that would do, it would feed 50 of the frontline workers for 7 days, lunch and dinner.
Nice.
Okay. So what we did is it was set for Monday morning. So you had from Monday morning at 9 o'clock until the next day, until the next day at 5, to get your calls in. So long story short, we had 96 people contribute. We raised $6,300.
Nice.
It was a huge success. And Chris, one of my, you ask about tacos, got a real good buddy of ours. Chris at Tech Tacos does delivery, and it's catered. He's a caterer. And so what we did is we said, anybody that donates the $25, you're going to go in a drawing to get, not only to get catered tacos for 5, but also get a bottle of Clase Azul. Okay. That was very well received. And we did that for the team too. So everybody that participated, we drew out a name and somebody got that, for their family. So, part of it's having fun, but it was a really great bonding experience for everybody. And it went to a great cause. So we're looking forward to doing that again real soon too.
That's spectacular. You said, how'd you get doing this and how did this all start? The takeaways from these kind of stories and being inspired by guys like you coming up with these things, absolutely hands down the best part of doing this. No question about it. It's been the most fun of doing this. Onion rings or French fries?
Combination.
All right. I'm good with that. And any good reads in the last 30 days?
Stephen King, If It Bleeds. I just finished that. Small short stories. That was very enjoyable. As I said, I try to, we're so buried in this. When I can do a little escaping, I do it.
You go for the kill.
Yeah, exactly.
The kill. Walmart, Target, or Amazon?
Amazon.
Thank you. Dogs or cats?
Oh, there's no hesitation, man. It's dogs. I'm trying to be polite. I'm highly allergic to cats.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So, not even an option.
Where is your happy place?
One of them's right now. Interacting like this, I really love it. It's thank you for reaching out. This is
thank you for taking the time.
Truly, man, it's very meaningful for me. I love the ability to to reach out and just share what I can.
As soon as this is over, aside from the fact that I'll be on a flight knocking at your door like this, what's the first thing you want to do without a mask? Keep it clean.
First thing I want to do without a mask is I want to go to Gracias Madre, which is a vegan restaurant on Melrose, and they have the best selection of tequila in the country. It's a great open air restaurant. Sit down at the bar, have a couple shots of tequila with my wife, bring some friends, and have dinner.
And on the website, it didn't go without notice that you're on search for the great cup of coffee.
Yes.
I think there was a point in time where you, as a fetus, were in Long Island College Hospital in Brooklyn, because
I love that.
That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah. And I'd say, today it would be Lux Cafe, and it's called a Mandorla, and it sounds so fancy. All it is, it's almond milk and it's an Americano with almond milk. That
my kid just walked out of the room. Almond milk. This is all she's buying now. So
yeah, it's fantastic.
Ron, this is what it's all about. My last question: what's the takeaway from all this? What do you want the team to know, and what do you think the takeaway is from all of this?
I think stay grounded, stay focused, and keep in touch with your clients.
What else is there? That's it. You are a gentleman for taking the time and making this fun. And I'm not kidding around. Flights start resuming. I'm knocking on your door.
You know what? I'd look forward to it, because I'll tell you something. Narano is a place I'd love to break bread with you and your family.
We're coming.
When you're in town, please let me know.
Thank
you. Thanks.
Won't even be a question. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, dude, you know that we're doing a tequila tasting. We're doing tequila tasting at 4 today.
4 o'clock Pacific time is 7 o'clock. Right. We're going to the beach. We're taking the Jeep to the beach right now. We're taking the dogs out. We're coming back. I'll see you at 7.
Be well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye.